Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Europa Universalis. Now I'm at the end of turn 3 of the second age. The action phase is over. It was a pretty messy turn. I made a couple of mistakes, but one particularly important. There was the battle or the war between Poland and Austria, and Poland managed to cross the mountains here, move into Ireland, into Hungary, and basically capture Royal Hungary. But I didn't trigger the defend the empire option for the Austrians, because I thought that would only be possible if the area of the empire is actually attacked, not already also if the emperor itself is attacked. So I could have done that. I kind of fixed it then by later giving the Austrians the troops when they fought back, and that gave them then the edge against the Poles, and they were able to kind of drive them out again of Hungary. However, the Polish army kind of remained, at least to some extent, intact. The valuable units, the cannons, the cavalry is still intact. Even the general survived. So, although it was definitely a victory for Austria, and Poland lost some resources here, it was a very expensive victory. The Austrians have 5 loans, so that is the maximum. If they have to take another one for whatever reason, may it be because of any revolts or something, they will go bankrupt, which is a big deal. They are at -3 stability, and that will go down, so they have to pay penalty cubes because they are in an interregnum, because their leader was also killed during one of these battles. So, and they spent, they had to spend a lot of money for all these troops. They paid a very high price for keeping these 3 provinces. But we have the struggle for the Balkans. These provinces are part of that, and they also need these for some missions. So I guess it might be worth it. They're gonna get a lot of points this turn for the struggle of the Balkans, because they control most of it, and that will give them, really a ton of points. But they're gonna be not able to do anything pretty much during the next turn or round, and we'll see how long it takes for them to recover from their current situation. Interestingly, the second power who, when it comes to the lead, who has the second most points, they are also in a terrible shape. It's not by far not as bad as the Austrians are, but it's a different type. The Austrians are basically bankrupt or near bankrupt, and they have no cubes. The English have a ton of unrest. That is their big problem. They have a ton of unrest. They have here a heretic town, and that is their main problem. So we'll see how they can deal with that. And we have not even rolled for the unrest for the rebel in the rebel phase, or we'll see what happens then. The Turks attacked the Mamelukes, and, well, I would say with mixed results. They kind of took about, well, maybe a third of their cities, maybe a little more, but they clearly haven't managed to beat them or something. They didn't even take the capital. So, yeah, there's still work to do here, but during the next round they probably have a truce. I assume, I'm not quite sure, but I got to go through the peace resolution. And what's weird for me is France. Usually I've seen that when a bot takes over, they score points, right? They are doing good because they can score points for different type of things that the standard player can't. But here, it didn't really work out. France didn't make a lot of progress during the last rounds. They kind of attacked Austria here by trying to get Savoy. Kind of was a stalemate, but it took a lot of resources. They now captured Genoa. That will give them a couple of points, but it's not that terribly impressive. In the end, they have now the religious wars. They massacred the Huguenots. That brought them tons of unrest. Paris is at the moment a rebel town, so not a good position for them. Neither point-wise, they are last, but also when it comes to the board, I don't know, it's hard for them to make real progress, I feel. They also done absolutely no exploration, and at least England did some exploration here. And now we come, for me, to the player who feels this is the most healthy realm, it seems to me. That is Spain. But interestingly, they don't have that many points. They are 4th at the moment. But they control this massive realm. Here they have Naples, Aragon, they have, of course, Castile, and then they have also some colonies here in Central America. They already have claims here in Africa. So, but maybe it just looks a bit more impressive because it kind of spans out over the whole Western Mediterranean, while, yeah, I mean, if you count the cities, then France and Turkey might be even bigger, or at least of a similar size. Turkey is probably, I don't know, hard to tell. If you look here, I mean, Turkey is already basically, when it comes to the small cities, they have more than 20 already on the board, but they don't have that many big cities, while Spain has also all the big cities are already gone. So I think that Spain is probably at the moment the largest power. Do now the peace resolution between the Poles and the Austrians. And by the way, this is just some kind of lost French army there. The bot did some strange move. They're trying to get here to Kaffa, basically. So they just marched through Europe and nobody cared about that. That's super weird, but okay. So we got here now the situation between the war between Poland and Austria, and what we have is actually an automatic white peace because nobody occupies any areas of the other player, and that sucks for the Poles because they would be perfectly happy to continue that war. They are in a much better shape overall. They have a solid income. They have basically a good army if they can hire more infantry units. And they have a general. And Austria is, you know, basically close to collapsing. But, yeah, it's a white peace. And therefore, each player loses one. Each player loses one victory point. And we see a truce. Okay. France managed to completely defeat Genoa, because as a bot you only need the capital and provinces worth equal or greater than half of the enemy player's tax value. So the fact that they don't own Kaffa doesn't matter, they get it basically now anyway. So I think I assume this remains an unrest. I'm pretty sure about that. Let me see. Yeah. That seems not quite clear. Annex all of the enemies de jure provinces that are controlled by enemy or bot. Unoccupied vassals are released. Okay, so first they score 4 points. So now, 1, 2, 3. Poland is actually last. But it's not quite clear. Peace resolution. Maybe here. If a bot is now at peace, remove the bot's army from the map, unless the bot has any... Okay, so the army is removed. It's not quite clear. I'm going to keep it here in unrest. That makes, for me, more sense. This one is not in unrest because I rolled a rebel die and the unrest simply went away. Okay, down here with the Mamelukes, for me the peace resolution seems to work as follows. We got this kind of partial victory. End the war and keep the current board state. Score points equal to the tax income of the retained enemy core provinces. Okay. I think these count as core provinces. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm pretty sure when they expand, these become enemy core provinces. So they get 7. That brings them to 37. That's huge. That brings them into second place. And the enemy still exists. Flip the war tokens to their truce side. Okay, let's do this. So we have a truce now. Players on both sides may add player realms. May add... What? Oh, claims. Bots at a maximum of 1. Well, they haven't lost anything. Remove bots' claims from areas where bots now owns all provinces. That would be... I don't know. Nowhere, actually. That's nowhere the case. Here there's still Konya. So that is not the case. Okay, so I think this is it. So it was definitely worth a lot of points. But now the bot has a lot of unrest to deal with. And they are no longer at war, so I guess the army is also now simply removed. We see prestige penalties because of occupied towns. The English lost 1. The French lost even 2 points. They are now equal with the Poles. And Austria lost a single point. Here, 2 points for Paris and York. These rebel towns, prestige penalties. Now the interregnum. And that's an issue for Austria. they will lose a stability, but they are already at -2, which means they will lose usually 2 administrative cubes, but because they only have 1, they lose another cube. So Austria is now completely without cubes. I gotta check if there is another, but I don't think so. So now we gotta roll the dice. The English got an unrest from their low stability. If you have a -2 stability, you get an additional unrest. The same happened to the Austrians. The English decided to remove a cube from Scotland. You can do this if you have religious descent in a vassal's area. You can simply remove an influence and then you don't take unrest there. The Austrians were protected by their tolerance from the religious descent, so were the Poles, but the French not. And they took unrest here in Seine, another one, and also one in Burgundy. So, got a lot of dice to roll here. So I say we start with Poland. Now Poland, I think they're not doing that poorly. They got here, and they can re-roll. We gotta remember that. So that is great. Nothing happened there. Down here at Circassia. So that's $2. I think they're gonna pay that. Yeah. Okay, I think that might be it actually. Then we go to the Turks, and they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they can only roll 5, and we'll see. Okay, so they got a rebellion. So let's see. These are the first 3. 1 goes away. So let's see which one is that supposed to be now. Not probably do it in, I say, no, I don't know, we already did. It has to be in alphabetical order. Is that an F? Fayoum. I guess I'm going to take that then. Yeah, let's take that. Oops. For this symbol, the bot simply will use a cube, lose a cube, and then we do a rebellion. And I think we have to do it again in a alphabetical order, which is a little weird. What is that? Mush, okay. Ka. I think Iskandaria goes away. Yeah, so we're going to lose that. And this is the realm of the Mamelukes. So, yeah, I'm gonna just gotta remember that. This is a Mameluke realm. We don't have enough markers for that. So this is liberated, and that gives the Turks now a claim in Egypt because this was liberated. That's what the rules at least indicate here. If a province is liberated, then the bot gets a claim there. Okay, and then we got to roll 2 more dice. And we see another rebellion. A bot cannot lose more than 1 cube, but we're going to see another rebellion. Is that Fayoum this time? Yeah, it seems like it is. Oh no, it's actually this one. Dumyat. Okay, so this one is also liberated. Okay, there we go. So the bot only manages to hold Fayoum in Egypt. All the other provinces are liberated again. But of course they still hold these areas here. Okay, so now it's the French. They also have to roll 5 dice, the maximum. They got 6 unrest, so let's see what they get. Okay, they lose a cube for these two results, and two more. Oh boy, two rebellions. Oh boy. So there is no army on the board, so that means there will be also rebel towns now. And I guess we gotta go with the smaller ones. We don't want to lose our bigger ones. So I think these two will... Oh, this is actually... Wow, this is Burgundy. Holy crap, these are both Burgundy. This is pretty insane. You know, that's the thing. Kind of have to ask yourself, is that really something you want to do? I think the bot should not do that. I think they want to give away Lyon. Ah, this is also Burgundy. Well, it seems like they cannot... I mean, they could give away Lyon and Champagne, and in that way, at least they don't have to... They don't lose any non-core provinces. So I think they're going to go with that. Otherwise, it seems really stupid. So they're going to take these. They're going to take these two markers here, Champagne. And we're going to do it like that, Lyon. Now that will cost them quite a bit of income or manpower. In this case, it's not that terrible. Well, I got 3. That should be only 3. Okay, there we go. But yeah, there's a lot to do for the French bot. They are really in turmoil there. I mean, this is half the country is in unrest or rebellion. Really terrible. The same here. Yeah, the Reformation is really a painful issue for some of the countries. Spain is happy, no unrest. The British. Okay, so let's see, we start here in Ireland. Nothing. 2 in Northumbria. Okay, we got a cube and 2 bucks. So there we go, there's the cube and 2 bucks. And let's continue. We have Wales. Oh boy, 2 rebels, and we only have a single garrison there. So that could be a problem. And then we got East Anglia, a rebellion and a cube. Painful. And there's also just a single garrison there. I mean, I assume they probably will destroy each other, but here it's not looking good for the English troops. Do this battle here first in Wales and Wessex. So the rebels attack. Okay, I mean, they easily destroy the English guy. They fight back. So yeah, as to be expected, the English lose 1, the rebels lose 1, but we still have rebels sitting there. East Anglia, the rebels attack and they destroy the English troops. Oh, yeah, but they made it. Okay, so they killed each other here. So now it's Austria, and their position might not be quite as bad because they got the rerolls. So we got here Steiermark. Okay, that actually gets better. Nice. We have Beograd. Okay, they lose another cube, which they can't. That means they have to pay $2. And I think that's actually it. So that was not too bad for them. English, they have an income of $2. That's completely ridiculous. But they have 10, 14, 16. They got to spend 5 for the advisors, which brings them down to 11. Minus 2 here is 9. Another one for the army, and 2 here, so that's 6. And then they got all these ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ships. That's another 3. So, well, that's 3. I don't know. Maybe I messed up somewhere. Maybe it's. Did I count the? I'm not sure if I subtracted the interest for the loan. But anyway, I mean, this is ridiculously low. So that's not good. But maybe they can do some trade actions here. That seems like it would be an option for them. They might even consider bringing the ships back in. But they can't do it with these guys. They could do it. I think it has to be an adjacent friendly port, and there is none over there. They could do it here. That would save them a couple of bucks, $2, but it would cost them a military cube to let them out again. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think so. So I guess I'm just going to take, I don't know, $2 or something. Austrians made $11, so that wasn't so bad for them. Here we got about, I don't know, something like 18 or so for the Poles. The big winner was Spain. I think they made about, I think they made more than $20. I'm not sure, but they really made a lot of cash. They had to pay quite a bit for their advisors, 6, and also a lot for their ships. I mean, it wasn't that bad, I think 3 or something. But yeah, overall they really made a good amount of money there. So I collected the manpower. The bots didn't get that many this turn, so they didn't have many left, which is an important aspect often. The Turks none, the French only a single one. Now the British and the Spanish got a lot of manpower, also the Poles, and of course here the problem with the Austrians with their interregnum and a -3 stability, but they managed to get a few diplomacy cubes because of the Holy Roman Empire cube, and also they are still the uncontested controller of the Papal Curia, which gives them also an additional diplomacy cube. And now we score a couple of more of prestige points, and because of the uncontested control, again Austria gains 3 prestige points. So they scored a lot of points because of that. And now let's see, we go to the power struggle, and this is going to be interesting now. So for the battleground areas, let's check them one by one. The Hungarian Plain, Royal Hungary, Dalmatia, Croatia and Bosnia, Serbia and Albania and Moldavia. Okay. 1 per tax value of provinces they control there. Vassals count as half. Okay, so Royal Hungary for Austria it's 3. Hungarian Plain is 2. So that's 5. Serbia and Albania 6. Transylvania does not count, but here they get another half, so that is rounded up, so they get 7 points for that. Wow.
Not bad at all. That brings them to 54. I mean, this isn't looking good, right? I mean, we have the next one is sitting here at 37, so they're nearly 20 points ahead. Then we have, oh, wait a second. Well, the Turks, this is here, no, that's Macedonia. The Turks get nothing. Wallachia doesn't count, Macedonia doesn't count, so they get absolutely nothing there. And Moldavia does count though, so that gives the Poles 3 points. Okay, and that's that. Then 1 for being the only player with a realm or vassal there. So that means again 1, 2, no, that's not 1, 2, 3, 4 more points for the Austrians. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 for Poland. And 1 for having at least an alliance or a marriage there. I don't think so. No, nobody has that. Maybe that should have done with, maybe someone else could have done that, but okay. And then it says the player with the most units in battleground areas scores 3 points. Now again, this is Austria, because they have their army there. So that's another 3 points. So they go now to 61, so we flip this to 60, and they are at 61. Incredible. And if the Ottomans or Austria has fewer than 6 cities in these areas, or Poland fewer than 4, they lose 3 points. And that is the case for both of them, for the Turks and the Poles. Not for Austria, of course. Austria, well, actually that's pretty tricky. Austria just has 6. That was close. Beograd made it 6. That's a lot of areas. That's a lot of cities you want. Okay, so that means Poland will lose 3. So overall, at least they gained, I think, 1 point out of this. The Turks lose 3. 1, 2. I mean, they simply completely ignored that. That was a bit of a strange play by the bot. They scored 7 points down here, though. So, I mean, it wasn't terrible for them. They made points from the war against the Mamluks. But still, they should have probably done something here. If it would have been a human player, that would have been more reasonable. The reason why that actually happened was mainly because the power struggle was activated pretty late in the turn. And there is a time when the Ottomans checked if there were any active power struggle countries available to attack, and they would have done it. But at that time, it wasn't activated yet, so therefore, it didn't work out. Okay, so again, and this is really a little weird, the Austrians score points like crazy. I mean, I don't know, they made kind of like 20 points out of this thing. At least, it feels like that. Maybe it's not quite true. But I guess it's definitely 15 or something. So they are so far in the lead, right? But their country is in shambles, or at least it seems like that, right? I mean, they are just in a terrible shape, but they still score points like crazy. That doesn't feel quite right to me. But, okay. We'll see if the others will be able to catch up during this possible weakness now of Austria. Have a look at the next power struggle, the upcoming one. 30 Years' War. So the battleground areas are all Holy Roman Empire elector areas, as well as Pomerania, Flanders, Wallonia, and Bavaria and Swabia. So that means we have the elector is Westphalia, Brandenburg, Bohemia, the Rhineland, and Saxony. And then we have, Pomerania, which is here in the north, Bavaria here in the center, and then it's Flanders and Wallonia, which is this one here. We see a claim of France here. Here England is kind of diplomatically active. Bohemia is definitely interesting for Austria. They might still, I mean, they got a lot of diplomatic cubes, interestingly. So, and they got the spy network. So I can see a chance that maybe Austria tries to vassalize Bohemia. That might be a goal. One of the few things that they might be able to do during this turn. And, well, so yeah, we'll see. It says, if 3+ elector areas are Catholic, increase the imperial authority by 1. If fewer, decrease the imperial authority by 2. Okay, so that's definitely a goal of the emperor. 3 of the elector areas must be Catholic. Then the emperor scores points equal to twice the imperial authority minus 4. Their allies score half of that. So what does that mean? The allies of the empire or the allies of the... Or is it the allies of the electors? That's something I don't understand. Something I don't really get. I mean, there is obviously plural. I understand that it is used sometimes to avoid any gender fixation or whatever. So it could be a female emperor, for example. But I'm not sure if it is used in that way here, or if it means that we're talking about allies of the electorate areas. But I don't think that would make a lot of sense. I think we're talking about allies of the empire. So if you have any idea about that, let me know, please, because this is something that might be because of my language problems. Maybe that's a problem for me because of that. So let's assume he would gain... let's assume this thing increases by 1. That would bring him to 3. So that means then he would score 6 minus 4 points. So that would give him 2 more points. Okay, just so that we have some kind of idea how this would work out. So overall that means it would be in his interest to increase the imperial authority in general, because that would give him more points. That's an interesting idea, and he can do it by, I think he can do it by spending an admin cube plus, or admin cubes equal to 1 plus the current authority value. In this way he can increase the imperial authority. And if that's worth a point, he might consider doing this. Apart from that, he's got to take care that we have enough Catholic electorates. And right now, I don't know, it would be one. We need 3. 1, Brandenburg, 2, 3. Yeah, right now we would be good. Even 4 we have right now. So that would be fine. We have Pacta Conventa. So that's a Polish card. A solid Polish ruler, I would say. Better than the guy we have right now. A little better. Poland gains 2 cubes of their choice but loses 2 stability. Add 3 unrest to Polish cities. You gain 1 military cube. So that's invalidate the agreement. The other one is succumb to the Sejm. Poland loses 2 victory points and 10 bucks. Wow. And must exhaust 6 manpower. Poland may remove 1 unrest. You gain 1 diplomacy. Now that obviously both sucks. It's hard to tell which one is worse. Probably B, succumb to the same or Sejm or what. On the other hand, they lose 2 victory points, but losing 2 stability is also really painful. So I don't know. I mean, this is both really bad for Poland. Okay, so the next one is religious turmoil. Affects all Catholic players that have 2 or more Protestant areas and all Protestant players that have 2 or more Catholic areas. Each affected player realm gains 2 military and must add 4 rebels in one of their affected areas and 2 unrest, not 2 military. I always confuse that. And 1 unrest in 2 and 2 rebels in another affected area. Affected player realms may pay 4 admin to research the tolerance idea. That means we also that then is followed by rebel roles, spread of the faith, and the death of plus characters. There is at least no monarch that would be killed by that, although Elizabeth is a plus. Okay, so yeah, definitely a bad card. It seems at the moment for France, for Austria, and that's it. So maybe some Catholic players like the Poles or the Spains, they want to get this out of the way as soon as possible. So, and then we have privateers. Issue letter of marque. Pay 1 military to draw 3 trade cards and select a maritime trade node on one of these. Activate an opponent's merchant in this node and place a pirate there to collect the income from the top of the left ducat column of the card. Okay. Okay. Strike down on piracy. Pay 1 military to move a pirate from one maritime trade node to another. Gain 1 diplomacy. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually not a bad card. And we have the Lost at Sea event there. Okay. So these are our 3 event cards. Now I'm going to draw action cards and grab possible new mission cards. I'm done with the end of turn phase, so I would say we start into the next turn. So we have here now the The first player is the bot, and he is under attack. He's got a lot of rebel towns to deal with. So let's see how exactly he's going to do that. So first he's got to spend a cube, goes to defend action, and let's see, is there any area with invaders? I assume that includes towns. Has he got 2 cubes? Nope. Is the army larger? Yeah, yes. Is the army on the map? No. Any areas with bots, towns where the army would not trigger a battle? Yes. Place an army in an own area without hostile units. The highest tax value of all that are occupied. Okay, so that means the army shows up here. And that's all that happens for the bot. And then we come to the Spaniards, and we got to make our first decision now. So yeah, some interesting things I wanted to do. Got to think about that. Do I want to take one of these two, the religious turmoil, get it out of the way? But I don't have any Protestant areas, and I think it's also unlikely that I will get some pretty soon. So I'm not too much afraid of that. Privateers, not a good idea. I would be lost at sea. I would lose a ship right now. Maybe I should simply do a colonization action. I wonder if I can only do this, if I can only colonize a single one, or if I can colonize a couple of colonies with a single action. Gotta check that. Okay, so it seems I can only do a single colonization per action. I'm going to grab 2 of the colonized cubes, and I'm going to grab 2 of my admin cubes. Got a lot of those. And I'm going to build a colony at the Gold Coast. So that gives me also back a claim, and I can build a colony there. Cool. So we got our first colony in Africa. I think that should now add the African trade cards. Now it's the English, and I think they will do the same. So they spend also 2 admin cubes and their 2 colonists, and this gives them a colony in North America. So I think I'm going to go with Virginia here. Okay, so we got the first English colony. Congratulations. Austria, well, I think the first thing they wanted, although they might hold back here, they actually have drawn a pretty solid leader. That will be their new ruler, and he's pretty good. He really is. Right now, I think they're going to place a cube. I wonder if I should pay for the second cube. Yeah, I will place influence in Bohemia. I'm really not in a good shape here, but I don't want to go bankrupt, but I don't know what to do, but I think I'm actually going to place 2 influence in Bohemia, and I need 5 cubes there to vassalize that. So I got to use 2 more
to get the poles out there with my spy network. And then for the last one I can use my subjugate. So that would work out exactly. Yeah, then I could do a reorganization action and maybe push my stability one level higher or something like that. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Sounds like a plan to me. It's not going to be a lot going on this turn, but maybe I can avoid at least bankruptcy. I mean, I got $4 left. Also consider sieging the city here in Tyrol. But I don't have the cubes to do that. I only have a single military cube, but I don't have an army there. So yeah, I can't do that. Kind of sucks. The Poles. Now, I got a lot of cubes here. So, oops. Not quite sure what I want to do. I wonder why I have so many cubes. Especially here, it's weird because there's no advisor there. This guy only gives me 2 cubes. But okay, I guess maybe I didn't spend them all. I had a lot of cubes from Leonardo da Vinci. Okay, so I think... Yeah. I think first of all I'm gonna spend... I need 4 diplomacy here. You know, actually I'm gonna buy some. I need... Wait a minute, I got 1 in there already, so I need 3 more. I think I'm gonna spend 2 and buy 2. Oh, I can't do this. I cannot do that in a single action. Okay, so I'm gonna buy 1 and place 1. That makes sense. So yeah, I'm gonna do the diplomacy action there. I'm gonna place 2 cubes in Prussia. My goal is to subjugate them. That would be quite helpful. And wait a second. No, okay. So then it's the Turks. The Turks are not under attack, so they're gonna draw a card. And that's a convert card. Is that reasonable for them? No, they only have Muslim... do they? Yeah, there's only Muslim areas where they are located. Actually, not here, but they cannot convert that because there is also a Polish guy sitting there. So it seems they're going to go for the focus instead. Yeah. So they're going to spend a cube. And that goes in here. And that gives them now a military milestone. So this gives the bot 2 new cubes as a bonus, and he did the cleanse heresy, God. And that gives him, basically this goes now up. That means he's got he can now siege 2 per cube spent. Okay, yeah. No, wait a second. Does that make any sense? No, this is for the ideas. This is not for the focus. Yeah, so that's for the ideas. So he simply scores the 5 points. We're going to place a marker there. But this is hard to do for everyone. So 5 points for the Turks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, not so bad. They're now in second. And this card goes away. So this is then the end of this turn, and I think I'm gonna load this up at that point. So this was more a game where a video where I did a lot of procedural stuff. So yeah, nothing too exciting, I guess. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye.